Hello, and today I'm really pleased to introduce Januš Kizenevič, who is the Vice Minister of Finance of Lithuania. And I think for the Fintech Garden, it's really interesting opportunity to discuss the all happenings because Lithuania is well known for financial licenses and all the developments in the European Union. I would even say pioneering certain stuff. So Lithuania is literally sits on the EU eastern border neighboring with the Russia and Belarus. And how has this geographically really shaped how Lithuania thinks about the payments and digital infrastructure? Because taking into account the history and the experience of Ukraine, which were initially targeted with the digital payments, how do you see this part?
Good afternoon. First of all, thank you for having me today. It's a very good question and a broad question. So first of all, I think what is important to mention that all our funders, since day zero, since day one, they have global approach because we have very small tiny local market. The thing is that they understand that they have to be fast, they have to build strong product that can be scalable and that can be introduced to other markets in a very quick way. So I will say this is very natural mindset that doesn't exist or exists in a smaller scale in bigger economies where founders first of all try to grow up in a local market and then only think about the region, all about global development. In small country like 2.8 million of population, since day one, you go global or go home. So this is easy game. In terms of geographical position and landscape, we totally understand what is happening around us. We understand how important to learn from Ukrainians, how to survive and how to operate in a very difficult, in a crisis, in a wartime. So, by saying this, we have to learn what real resilience means from all perspective, from technological perspective, from strategic infrastructure perspective, from security perspective, cybersecurity perspective. So it's a lot of angles where we have to learn, we have to invest, but also learn from the best. And Ukraine, I think, huge progress, unfortunately due to war, but it's important to learn as much as we can from Ukraine.
Thank you. It kind of gives the perspective. The second question, Lithuania is well known for being fintech hub, a lot of licensing happening there. With the recent developments and ML changes and anti-fraud, is it going to be harder, or what are the perspective for the Lithuania in case of licensing there?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we have 130 licensed companies. We didn't expect to have this number. It wasn't planned. The plan was to establish a fintech ecosystem from scratch. So at the beginning, it wasn't about number. It was about building ecosystem in a smart, sustained way. Yes, we came to a big number. We have 130, more than 130 regulated fintechs. We have similar number of non-regulated fintech companies. But the reality is that it's all about quality of the products, of the solutions that can be offered to the market, and also all about capacity. So capacity of regulator. On one hand side, I do believe that now, after 10 years of rapid development, we have much better understanding, knowledge and know-how about the products and solutions rather than other regulators, for example, in Europe. But at the same time, we understand that fintech is changing faster than we expected. So, for example, many goals that have been agreed on our fintech strategy in 2022-23 have been achieved earlier this year, last year. So what does it mean? That we weren't ambitious enough in many cases, in many segments with our KPIs. But in reality, fintech really grew up faster, developed faster than we expected. And we see many new angles, many new directions, AI, blockchain, embedded finance, that really change directions of fintech grow.
That's definitely true. And the pace of the innovations in the technology is really astonishing. And I think we've been discussing in our podcast that regulators, it's something which is good because through the guardrails and safeguarding and overview, we're achieving new ways to execute the things. So I think that's a good that it comes hand in hand. The technology enables, but we need to make sure that the customer are protected.
Yeah.
We have the clear rules, clear understanding. And I think Mika was a good step to prove that point.
What is also very important to mention that every investor, every company that considers entering to the European Union, they really would like to have a reliable, friendly regulator that really communicates in a very clear way, transparent way.
Yeah.
This is important part. I do believe that our regulator really learned a lot, and we have a lot of lessons learned. We challenge also ourselves because we have to understand better what is happening in local market, in local EU market, and also in global level. So this is work to do for us. But the thing is to be able to offer the best value proposition for the companies that have very clear long-term strategy for countries like Lithuania.
Thank you, thank you. And the last question for today, you said in Davos that defense investment can be a source of innovations, and that's fairly true. And I'm really interested in an angle to have, does it play specifically for payments and digital identity where those two worlds actually meet? Because it might be some overlap there. So what do you think about the meeting those two worlds in the area?
I think it's about lessons learned, and looking from Ukraine's perspective, it's important to be prepared. It's about preparedness for the worst scenario, because in a business as usual environment, we think that everything works.
Yeah.
We have all resources, we have internet, we can expect that tomorrow nothing gonna change. But in reality, looking from very difficult geopolitical situation, we have to challenge ourselves in many ways, starting from our strategic infrastructure, from our digital infrastructure, challenge ourselves on dependencies on non-European technology participants in Europe. For me, financial and digital autonomy means that we in Europe can govern, can control, can protect our customers. That's why it's so important to invest pro-European solutions that will not exclude global players, will work as alternate solutions for the customers. This is the thing. We have to find the balance between what we have now and what we have built to protect ourselves, to protect our infrastructure. Let's take another example. It's cybersecurity.
Yeah.
This is something where we as Lithuania invested a lot since 2014, when Russia attacked Ukraine for the first time. And this is the direction of travel. Now we see that other countries realized how difficult it is to protect data, how difficult it is to protect strategic sectors like telecommunication, like banking and energy infrastructure, communication. So everything is related. So on one hand side, it's important to invest in infrastructure in a smart way. On other hand side, it's not only about investments, but about long-term strategy. Exactly. On EU level. So strategic thinking is also important, because I do believe that in Europe, we have resources. We have capital. But usually we have been facing challenges with access, with capital allocation, with not clear vision what we have to achieve, what our goals. For smaller countries like Lithuania, it's much easier to identify goals, to protect ourselves, but also to develop products locally. But it's not a success. Real success will be when we develop the right solutions on EU level for all member states. This, I do believe, will be our success.
And I think amplifying the proven results to the EU level, it will make Europe stronger and more effective with the utilization of the proven solution. So thank you for sharing answers for those great questions. I appreciate your time. And once again, thank you from all our viewers and visitors.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.